Hi everyone, and welcome to my channel, Advice to Think Twice. My name is Monica and I'm here with your bi-weekly tarot and psychic readings for the weeks starting the 17th and the 24th of April 2017. Thank you very much for joining me. So we're going to use the After Tarot deck for the tarot portion and the Wisdom of the Oracle deck for the psychic messages, and I love working with this deck for the psychic readings. And we're going to do the tarot portion first and then the psychic portion second. As always, please remember that these are general readings, so they're not going to apply to everybody watching, okay? If it doesn't make sense to you, then it just means that it's not meant for you. And you can watch your moon and rising sign readings for additional messages that may apply to you. Or of course you can get a private reading specific to just you and what you're dealing with, and the links to my website are in the description box below. And we're still running special offer readings, or a few different special offer readings at this time, so if you're interested in that, I've also linked my specials page in the description box below. But there you have it. Thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoy your readings. Please like, share, subscribe, and comment. I appreciate all the support. Have a wonderful time ahead, and I'll talk to you again very soon. Take care. Hi Leo, and welcome to your reading. So let's have a look at what's coming up for you. So you have a few major arcana cards in your spread here, and what that means is it could be a time for big changes. It could be a time for karmic rewards or karmic situations taking place in your life. It may be that things don't go according to plan during this time. It may be that things take longer to happen, or they don't happen at all even though we plan them to. That's just what happens when we're dealing with a lot of major arcana cards energy in our reading, and it's Mercury retrograde as well, so it could be that as well. Just be patient, give yourself more time to do what you're planning to do, and if something doesn't go right when you plan it to, try to be flexible and just see if it can be done a different way, as opposed to just keep trying something that doesn't work over and over again. So at the bottom of the deck, as the overall energy, we do have the Ten of Swords. So it is about endings so that new beginnings can happen. We have the Tower, we have the Fool, the Moon, so all three major arcanas. And I guess you could look at this as the first week that we're looking at and the second week that we're looking at, or this is the overall energy that you're dealing with, and that can happen at any time during this time frame. It's going to be different for everyone. The King of Swords, the Page of Swords, and the Six of Swords. So I feel that for some of you, you're leaving an air sign. Air signs are Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius, or they're leaving you, and you have to make peace with it. You don't get a say. You can't negotiate what's going on. You can't do anything about it. You just have to deal with it. And so, because I feel like with the Tower, the Fool, and the Moon, this is really just blindsiding you, and with the Ten of Swords, you're left to pick up the pieces. And I feel that, you know, this air sign, particularly air sign males, but with this being a general reading, it can be male or female. And this could be the sun sign, the moon sign, or the rising sign. I feel like this person is, for some of you, I feel like they're not even telling you that they're gone. And for others of you, they're just saying, I don't want to be with you anymore, and they just take off. And you could be living with this person because they could be moving out, or they're just coming to you and saying, I got a job in a different city, I leave tomorrow. Or they could be saying, I got back with my ex or something like that, and I leave tomorrow, so we're never going to see each other again, that sort of thing. Whatever's going on, if this is what you're dealing with, know that things are meant to happen this way for you. With the Tower here, things were not peachy between the two of you anyway, or this was not the person or the kind of person that you were meant to be with, or intuitively you know that, you know, it was probably not going to last for very long, or there was things that bothered you about the relationship. And so with the Tower, it's like you're faced to just, you know, you're forced to face the situation. And for some of you, that's what's going on. But know that ultimately it is for your highest good, and there's new beginnings that can happen now, and you can meet people that are better for you as a result of this. So with the Tower and the Fool here, try not to hold on to the past. Try not to hold on to what is changing. And I know that's easier said than done, especially when you deal with a massive change or something completely out of the blue. But it's important that, you know, you take your time to process it, but you don't dwell on it. You don't hold on to it. Okay, that's what I mean. For those of you, I do feel like this is about taking a chance during this time. It could be that you meet someone you have a very strong connection with, and this person could be a Cancer or an air sign, a Gemini, Libra, or an Aquarius. I feel like this person comes to you out of the blue. I feel like you're meant to meet this person, you're meant to be with this person, whether they're a romantic partner or they can be a really close friend to you. And it's a matter of letting them in, lowering your guard, and giving them a chance. Because I do feel like they can be someone who gives you a lot of support and affection, whether again this is in a romantic relationship or a friendship. For those of you, I do feel like something is ending in terms of you moving. You could be moving. It could be a situation where you thought you had more time where you are, but something happens. Either something happens on the property, or something happens with the paperwork, or something happens in the life of the landlord, and they basically just come to you and say, we're going to have to breach contract here. You have to move out. You have a week, or something like that. And that may see you, you know, be very overwhelmed and emotional about it, because it's like, I had no idea that this was going on, and you want to challenge it, you want to question it, you want to sue this person or anything like that. But ultimately they're saying that your time and energy would be better spent in looking at your options than attacking this individual. And I also feel like if you try to work with him or her, your landlord, to find a way that works for the both of you, ultimately sacrifices and compromises will have to be made, but I feel like you can find a peaceful way to resolve the situation and move out into a different location. For some of you, you could be doing this. You could be withholding communication. I feel like something is revealed and it is completely unexpected and slightly shocking. And it could be to do with, it feels like someone you work with, a boss, or romantic relationships or friendships, someone you thought was close to you, someone you thought was a friend, someone you thought had your back. There has been some betrayal, there has been some backstabbing, some gossip, manipulation, two-faced people kind of situation. And I feel like that is revealed during this time frame, and it sees you turning your back to this individual. And there's a lot of air sign energy here, so it's either Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius, or it just represents all the swords. It just represent a lot of communication and a lot of messages going back and forth about what has been going on, and that's why you get a lot of swords in your reading. And also you need to think about things, you're processing things, you're trying to understand and make sense of what has been going on. But ultimately you are, with the Six of Swords, whatever this is for you, ultimately it is for your highest good, and it does see you moving towards a more peaceful way of life, a more peaceful place to live, a more prosperous job, a better friendship, freeing yourself so that you can meet people who can give you what you deserve in love relationships, and so on and so forth. For some of you, you could be moving abroad, overseas, and this is the week where you hear back from your lawyer or the person working on this on your behalf, the legal person working on this on your behalf. And I feel that you thought you had more time, or you thought it was going to take longer for you to sell the house or buy a house or anything like that, and I feel like it's happening very quickly for you. And it could even be that you're actually moved into your new place by the end of this time frame, or this is just when things get started for you, but things are moving very quickly. I do see opportunities coming to you out of the blue. If you have been searching for a job, if you've been unemployed, I feel like you get a new opportunity during this time frame. This could be to do with the medical field, healthcare of any kind of job, I mean. Anything to do with the legal department, anything to do with information, data, managing, administering information, data, personnel files, being in administration, in a doctor's office, a dentist's office, an executive, working for a courthouse coming up for some of you. And I feel like it's a new opportunity. It may not be what you've been looking for. It's a little different than what you were going for, but it is a good opportunity, and it is divinely guided in your life at this time. So it's important that you give it a chance and to see where it takes you. And it's important to just get going, get unstuck from where you've been, if this is the situation that you've been dealing with. And for some of you, this could be some big argument that happens. Something is revealed, some big secret is revealed. It doesn't have to do with cheating necessarily. It's just a big secret, something you didn't know, but it is affecting you. It could be to do with, where your money has been going, what your partner has been doing with your finances, anything like that. People having a drinking problem, people having a gambling problem, people having health issues and they haven't told anyone about it. Some big secret is revealed during this time. And it can cause a big argument and a time when people just don't talk to each other. And then there's a coming back together and sorting things out and moving past this situation. And it could be that someone needs to go to the hospital during this time, or they need to have a procedure done. It's something they've been avoiding and running away from, and again, they may not have told anyone about this, so that no one can force them to go and do the right thing. And I feel like things are finally culminating during this time, and they need to go. They can't put it off any longer. This could be you, or it's someone around you, and so they have to go to the hospital. I feel like to get something removed, okay, if that makes sense. Could also be something to do with the female organs as well, or something to do with the eyes as well, or someone in the head region. And I feel like, the procedure is going to go okay. You're going to get your test results back, or their test results back. It's going to be okay, and you can put this behind you. It may not be a long recovery time, or they don't need to keep them in the hospital for a long time after the procedure. They can send you home to recover, or send this person home to recover. Right, let's look at your card for the psychic messages. Okay, so we have TikTok. The number is 30. And as usual, I'd like you to pause the video, take a few deep breaths in, quiet the mind, and just take the card in, see what it tells you specifically, see the messages you receive personally, directly. It's just for you, that just makes sense to you out of the card. Just let it speak to you. And you can do this for a few minutes if you need to. But, TikTok, the time is ticking on a situation, or, again, kind of coming in with the Tower here. It's a situation that someone's been trying to ignore, but it's just progressed regardless, and now it's just the time to deal with it. Now is the time to look at it. For others of you, this could be about fertility, procedures for fertility, or procedures to fix something, or to heal something, to resolve something, to do with pregnancy or pregnancy related issues coming up here. Because I feel like someone's, either someone feels like their biological clock is ticking, or someone's under pressure for whatever reason to do with a pregnancy. I feel like for some of you, you're just going to lose track of time. I feel like things are going to be moving very quickly for you. And this could be just a couple of days. It could be the whole time frame, or it could be a week during the time that we're looking at. where you honestly don't even know what time it is. You don't, or you may have one of those moments where you just don't even know what day it is. Very chaotic energies, very much overwhelming energy, where things are moving very quickly. Situations and things and people are pulling you in a lot of different ways. For those of you, this is about being on a deadline, working to a deadline during this time. For some of you, I feel like this is the pressure you've put on yourself in terms of, I need to find a job by that time, or I need to do this by then. But it's just something to do with you and what you, the time that you've set for yourself. And again, I feel like it may not happen according to your time. It's going to happen in divine timing. So try to keep that in mind and just stay calm when things don't come together when you want them to, or the way that you want them to exactly. Also feel like anything like submissions, papers, exams, submitting paperwork, applying for things. If you're working to a deadline, or if there's a clock on it, if there's a deadline on it, I feel like you will be able to get things submitted in due time, and it will be successful. So try not to pressure yourself, and it's also a matter of, don't focus so much on, okay, how much time do I have left? Rather, set an alarm for, when you've got an hour left to submit things, or it's going to be different if you have to go someplace to submit it, or if you can submit it online. But just set an alarm and then just focus on what you're doing. Don't keep checking the clock. Don't keep checking how much time you have left. For those of you, this is about insomnia, and you keep checking the clock, you keep looking at the clock. Like, okay, if I go to sleep now, I have 5 hours to sleep. If I go to sleep now, I have 4 hours to sleep. If I go to sleep now, I have 3 hours to sleep. And then you start panicking that that's not enough hours to sleep. So again, it's just, I need to take a breath here. So a lot going on, or you feel like you're under a lot of pressure, or you are under a lot of pressure, or you're putting a lot of pressure on yourself. You need to take a breath here, okay? Or you may trigger something in your health. That's another message. Definitely delays, or conflicting schedules, or missing appointments, or things not going to schedule coming up for some of you here. For others, I feel like you may have to move up your plans, to move up your plans to go for promotion, move up your plans to ask for that raise, move up your plans to start a family, move up your plans in terms of wedding plans. And perhaps that's why that's what kicks things into high gear. Paying attention to the details is important during this time. Again, try not to get lost in the big picture. Just take it one day at a time, one step at a time. Be present and focus on what you're doing so that you don't have to redo things, okay? And again, it's Mercury retrograde, so that is just general good advice when Mercury's in retrograde, to pay attention to the details and to do the best job we can, so that we don't have to redo it, because oftentimes we have to redo things, repair, review, reassess during the Mercury retrograde. I feel that you may hear news, you may receive news, you may receive invitations or opportunities presented to you from overseas or from abroad. And this could be someone coming home from abroad during this time, whether they're coming home from a military service, or they're coming home because they've been abroad, or they've lived abroad and now they're moving back home. I feel like there's people coming back home from abroad. And also opportunities, offers coming to you from abroad. And I feel like you have to think fast and decide, do you want to work abroad? Do you want to look for other jobs? I feel like you're going to have to make a split-second decision. For some of you, though, it does feel like it's only for a limited amount of time. So it's almost only like a 1-month contract, or a 3-month contract, or a 6-month contract. they would have to work abroad, and it would be a really good opportunity money-wise, but you have to figure out, you know, if that's what you want to do. For some of you, you're just having hesitation over the fact that you're going to be alone in a different country. For others of you, it's about thinking about family and being away from family. For others of you, you may have some medical things that you need to keep an eye on, and your doctor is here, so it's almost like, okay, how can I make this work? Because I want to do this, but I don't want to neglect my health either, and I want to still stay on top of this situation. But again, you know, don't put too much pressure on yourself. Keep your feet on the ground and do what you can, okay? Do the best you can in whichever situation. Don't put pressure on yourself to do things that you can't do, okay? Or that are too much for you to handle. You have to be realistic. You have to be practical. And, you know, for some of you, this is about either giving birth ahead of term or giving birth past your due date. Anything that's scheduled very particularly, it's just not going to happen, okay? So just give yourself more room, more time, be flexible, and try to go with it, okay? Ultimately, it'll work out. Ultimately, it'll be for the best, but it just may not happen according to your schedule. So it's important that you go with it. Okay, so these are a few of the messages coming through for you here for this time that we're looking at for the next couple of weeks or so. I hope the messages make sense. I hope the messages help. I'm looking forward to your comments. Let me know how the cards apply to you if they do. Remember to watch your moon and rising sign as well. But thank you very much for joining me. Hope you've enjoyed your reading and that you have a wonderful time ahead. I'll talk to you again very soon. Take care.